Hey everybody, I'm one of the volunteers with Pennsylvania Racehorse Rehabilitation, Rehoming, and Rescue, commonly called PARR, and well, there's been something that's keeping me up. I don't even know what time of night it is now, but having trouble sleeping, and this is really over one horse that PARR recently took in, and his name was Jet. And we've been asking basically to help kind of get over that hump of the final $2,000 that we need to pay off for a surgery that he got. But Jet really, he didn't deserve to end up the way that he did and the way that he was found. And it was only by a stroke of luck that the veterinarian for PARR, Dr. Papp, happened to be in the right place at the right time to find him basically struggling for his life. Suffering with God knows what kind of pain and being in shock from having a sesamoid fracture in his right front that really should have been taken care of long before it got to the stage where he was found. And fortunately for those of you who are immediately going to ask that question, yes, the case is under investigation. So, that's why I can't reveal too much more about exactly what, all of that stuff at this time, but that's irrelevant really at this point because we're talking about the horse here. And it took some time just to stabilize him enough for PARR to be able to transport him back to their farm. And basically, after looking at everything in order to save his life, he basically needed a surgical procedure called an arthrodesis. And for those of you wondering kind of what an arthrodesis is, well, it's this. It's this massive amount of hardware being placed in the foreleg to basically fuse that joint and make it so that the leg is stable enough that he can live. That's the long and the short of it. This was a surgery that saved his life, and the only way we were kind of able to do it was to be able to go out and really try to get donations to cover the cost of that surgery for Jet. And fortunately, through the amazing generosity of the Pennsylvania Veterinary Foundation, and after the finish line, we got basically 4/5 of the way to the goal. We got 8,000 out of the 10,000, and a little while ago, I had made a plea for everybody to kind of try to hopefully come together and get that final 2,000. And so far, we've only gotten about 200 of that 2,000. And those types of things are keeping me up at night. This is a horse that gave everything he had on the track. This is a horse that, for the pure joy and entertainment and love of watching a thoroughbred do what they really were bred and loved to do, day in and day out in every race that he ran in, he provided everybody who watched him great joy. And we owe it to him to be able to finish the job and get the rest of that money for him. He's going to be fine. The surgery went very well and he's recovering very well. So right now everything looks wonderful for him to have a great rest of his life. But we still need to get the rest of that money. And every day or night when I log on and look to see if we've gotten any more donations in for him, we did get a small amount from a couple of people that were connected to him, way back, when he was younger, and we're most appreciative for that. But a lot of people talk about, well, really you should be getting money from, just people that were connected with the horse. And I really think that that's irrelevant at this point. Whether the horse had connections that want to donate or not is really up to them. But I know that there's everybody who's potentially seeing this, everybody who's been a fan of this sport, who just loves the horse, can find $10, can find $5 and give to PARR to be able to help us get the rest of this money to pay off the vet bills from a surgery that was done by a phenomenal surgeon who did a phenomenal job to, save his life. Everybody can find that somewhere to donate to PARR. And, in addition to that, there are people in this racing industry who $500, $1,000 is nothing when you look at some of the money that is plunked down at sales. Everybody in this industry knows somebody who can donate to help cover the cost for things like Jet and for everything else that PARR does. PARR takes in some of probably the hardest medical cases to deal with. right here in central Pennsylvania with off-the-track thoroughbreds. And everybody in this industry really needs to stand up and support aftercare and support groups like PARR. And I'm asking specifically here for PARR to get us over that hump. And I'm asking for anybody who knows anybody in the industry who can give a little bit, because that's all I'm asking, is just give a little bit to try to get to that goal. And if we exceed it, then it'll go to help other horses, that PARR has taken in, such as Drifter, or Mega, or Vinny, a whole bunch of other animals. You can learn all about them on PARR's website. But it will all go to help. And the jets that are out there, the horses that are in need, that are coming off the track, that have medical conditions, that need second chances at great careers. That's where this money goes, and it's all volunteer run. It keeps me up at night because I almost feel like I'm failing somehow if I can't help to get those donations, because I can't do a lot of the stuff that the other volunteers at PARR does. But I can try to help, at least to give them the resources to do it. All of us can help to try to give the resources for them to do it. And maybe if we saw a little more coming in, I wouldn't be up at whatever hour this is making this plea to people. Anybody who knows me normally knows that I do much more refined kind of video stuff for Thoroughfan and a couple of other sites, and a lot of different editing and things like that. None of that this time. A couple of edited photos just to kind of remind everybody what this is all about, but that's what it is. There are people out there that can help. If it's you, please give to PARR in Jet's honor, because fortunately his life is saved. But there are many other Jets out there, and we still have to raise the money to basically pay off the fact that we were able to save his life. And we can only do it with your guys' help. And if you know somebody in the racing industry who very easily can give some money, approach them with this video. Approach them and tell them it's their responsibility to give back. Because the horses have basically given so much to us, and we haven't asked anything of them, just to do what they love to do. And sometimes that means them giving their lives for it. But a lot of times it means that we can do things for them to make sure that while they've given everything they possibly have out on the racetrack for our enjoyment and sometimes monetary gain, that we can give stuff back to them, such as a great chance at a wonderful retirement in life. So everybody who's watching this, share it with somebody that you know can help give. If you can give yourself, just simply go to PARR's website, paracehorse.org, go to that Network for Good donate button, and plug in and donate whatever you can. And under the designation, just put Jet, and we'll know where that money needs to go. And again, if we exceed that $2,000 that we're asking for, then it will go to other horses that are in need, that PARR can help. We can't do it without you guys. And we can't do it without the help of people in the industry who we know can give a little bit to make a lot of difference. Thank you.